So you finally decided to take the plunge and pull the trigger and go out and buy yourself an Airhead. But of course BMW have been building air-cooled flat twins since the early 1920s. So what models are we actually talking about here? I think we probably need to define what we mean by Airhead before you go out and choose. Right up until the late 1960s, you could famously order your new BMW in any colour you liked, as long as it was black with white pinstripes. These bikes are now affectionately known as the black and whites. They were beautifully crafted, but were very expensive to produce. And for your average rider, they were probably beyond their means. And most riders were probably looking for something a little bit more sporty as well. Add into the mix the new wave of superbikes arriving from Japan, bikes like the Honda CB754 and the Kawasaki Z1, and BMW knew that they were going to have to up their game considerably and have a whole new range of bikes, or possible closure was looking very likely. And so it fell to Chief Design Engineer Hans Gunther von der Marwitz to spearhead this transformation, and he decided that the new range of bikes should have a brand new chassis, and it should be able to at least match the Norton Featherbed in the handling department. And so at the end of the 1960s, the 5 Series was born. BMW decided to move motorcycle production from Munich to Berlin, where the R50, 60 and the 75-5 started rolling off the production line in 1969. So let's consider an Airhead to be all Berlin-built air-cooled twins from the R50/5 right through to the final 247 powered bikes of the mid-1990s. In all, the Airhead concept lasted for no fewer than 25 years. Such was the popularity of these particular bikes. Even the K-Series, with its 4 valves and its fuel injection, couldn't kill the Boxer. So when you go out shopping for your Airhead, you've got basically a choice of 3 types. You've got the twin shock bikes, like mine, you've got the monoshock bikes, and then you've got the parallever bikes. And they came in a variety of cc's from 450, the R45, right the way through to 1000 cc's, or 980, in the form of the R100. So let's take a look at the main differences between those 3 different types of Airhead. Okay, let's kick off by having a look at the twin shock bikes. All the pre-1981 bikes had a heavy flywheel engine that gave a lovely metronomic idle, but abundant torque at the bottom end. They also had steel-lined cylinders, and they all came with Bing carburetors of various sizes. They also all featured the clamshell airbox that was drilled at the back to let the air in. They all featured ATE telescopic forks with matching ATE calipers, some with twin discs and some with 1 disc. The master cylinder was found underneath the tank. The generator and points are found under the front cover. And at the back there's a lovely sandcast bevel box and Bogue rear shocks. The major change for the post-81 bikes was the addition of a lightweight clutch assembly to help with the clutch action and the gear change. Cylinder barrels were now Nicocil coated aluminium. They had electronic ignition, plastic airboxes and a bigger capacity rear bevel drive. Forks and brake calipers were by Brembo, and the master cylinder was moved to the handlebars. The monolever rear suspension system was developed specifically for the ATGS, a groundbreaking machine at the time and now the most sought after Airhead of them all. The mono design both reduced weight and produced greater torsional rigidity. It allowed increased wheel travel and quick wheel removal, a bonus when travelling on remote adventures. The ST Road version soon followed, but was oddly not well received. The following R80, however, sold well. By popular demand, the Mono family grew further, with new R100RS and R100RT models added to the lineup. The parallever represents a major technical improvement for a shaft-drive motorcycle. Alexander von Falkenhausen's 1950s design was perfected in the 1980s and applied to the Airhead frame. A parallelogram arrangement creates the same effect as a very long swinging arm. This in turn reduces rise and squat or torque reaction, allowing the suspension to work correctly. The parallevers are therefore the best handling airheads. The final airheads left the Berlin factory in 1996 after a 28-year production run. An estimated 430,000 units left the Spandau works, and a large number of those are still in regular use today. So that was a brief look at all the major differences of the airheads over the decades. Of course, there were many updates and improvements that I've not covered in this video. I think that the older they are, the more charming they are, but they do tend to have their quirks. The later model bikes are definitely going to be easier to live with, better handling brakes and suspension, but maybe lacking a bit of the charm of the earlier bikes. My personal preference is the pre-1981 heavy flywheel bikes, although there's definitely space in my garage for a genuine ATGS. Airheads are extremely robust and not particularly stressed. Basic maintenance tasks are easy because everything is so accessible. Spares are plentiful and there's a buoyant aftermarket scene too. Problems are few. Petrol on your boot is most likely a leaky float valve, a head shake means your rear tyre's shot, and no gear selection, oh dear, your return spring snapped. Don't ride an Airhead for 10 minutes and expect to be blown away. These bikes reward the rider for taking them a long way from home. So although hundreds of Airheads have been either bobbed, cafed, scrambled or chopped, they are still abundantly available as Hans originally intended. So if you've had enough of jerky fuel injection, those TFT thingies and quick shifting, then maybe a classic Airhead could be for you. An RS will still hone down the Autobahn, an RT will still cosset you from any weather condition, and a GS can still take you all the way around the world. Probably.